Hey everyone, welcome back to Von Kettle Kitchen. I am using the last of my tomatoes from our garden and I'm going to be canning up some tomato soup. So come join. I have 12 pounds of tomatoes. This is the last of what we had in our garden. So I'm going to be making, like I said, a tomato soup. And I'm not putting any cream or dairy into it because you can do that once you reheat it. So this is just going to be just a roasted tomato soup. I'm going to wash these up. I'm actually going to cut them in half and seed them. So we'll get started now. All right, so we're going to just cut these guys in half. And some of these are pretty meaty, like these yellow ones I got. They are excellent. I got the plants from Home Depot, worked well. I have my little scrap bowl. You can save these. Once you seed these, you're kind of juicing the tomato, but the seeds will go in there. I always grew up, take the seeds out, put them on a little napkin, label it, put it in an envelope after they dry, and then you have seeds so you don't have to buy plants the following year. So you're just gonna squeeze. This is a pretty meaty tomato, so you don't have to worry about it. You're going to put these, it doesn't matter how you do it, cut side up, cut side down, just right onto a baking sheet. And we're just gonna continue with all 12 pounds of these tomatoes and getting them on a sheet. And completed one tray so far. I'm leaving them cut side up because I'm going to salt and pepper them afterwards. I'm going to continue with the second tray. Put a little bit of olive oil on it. Oven is preheating to 375 and these are going to roast for about 45 minutes after this is all said and done. So I'm going to continue to chop and seed. So now we're going to salt and pepper this. It's going to seem like a lot, but you have to remember this is 12 pounds of tomatoes. So I have a tablespoon. So it's going to be about a tablespoon and a half of salt. And this will help pull out some more moisture, which all the juices from the pan will go into the soup as well. We're going to do half the amount of black pepper. So I have about a tablespoon altogether. All right. And we're going to pop these guys in the oven. So we're going to put these guys in the oven. And they're gonna roast for about 45 minutes. So while the tomatoes roast, I'm going to chop up some red onions. I want 4 cups all together. And that's because I have the 12 pounds of tomatoes. So it doesn't have to be a perfect chop because they are gonna get blended in the food processor all together before we actually can everything up. So I'm just gonna continue to do that. And we're gonna put garlic in here. I saute it because it just gives it more flavor. So I'm gonna continue to chop. To peel more onions than I really actually need when I cook, but that's fine because I cook with onions all the time. So I'll use these onions, I'll chop them up, put them in a little Ziploc bag, and I'll make omelets out of them. A pan up to medium-high heat. With these type of pans, you never want to heat without something in it. So you have to have like a spray or olive oil or butter. So once this comes up to temperature, I am going to put the onions and some garlic in there. 6 cloves of garlic to be exact. So I'm going to turn this down to medium just so the onions can soften and start to caramelize. Just gives the soup extra flavor. These are starting to soften and caramelize. I'm going to put 1.5 cups of white wine in with the onions. And this is just going to cook down for a couple more minutes and cook off the alcohol. So I'm going to get the stock in the pan. I'm going to do 8 cups. So I measured one out just to show. Stuff boiling over. That a quart of a wide mouth of stock that I canned is 4 cups. So that's in there. And I'm going to puree the wine and onions and put it in there as well. And just waiting for the tomatoes to puree them. Great. So we're going to put the juice in first so it doesn't go all over the place. And I'm going to scoop in the onions so they don't fall over the place. The wine is going to help blend together all the onions. Get the rest of them in there. Actually, I'm going to use the wooden spoon so I don't scratch the bottom of the pan. So this has the garlic in it as well, the onions and the wine. And we're going to blend it all up. Throw in with the stock. That's going to sit for now until the tomatoes are ready. So I pulled one of the trays out and I'm going to start pureeing this. The other tray I just left in the oven until I'm ready to puree it. last batch that I'm going to be putting through the blender. I have 1.5 cups of packed basil, and I'm going to put this in with the basil. I'll put the basil in a moment. So it's like a tomato basil soup. When you reheat this, you can actually put some cream in it if you'd like to, put cheese in it. You can make it how you want. Some leftover juice. Basil. Alright, and we're gonna blend this last batch up. So as the hot water canner is coming up, I have the tomato soup in the stock pot. I'm just going to stir it frequently. This is just to keep it hot. So when we put it in the jars, we can put it right inside the canner. Water canner has come up to a boil. I am doing quarts. These are going to can for 60 minutes. You can do this in pints as well if you would like, and pints will take 50 minutes. I figured for the extra 10 minutes, I'm just going to do the quarts. And if we have any extra or leftovers, we can have them for lunches or just lunch on the weekends. So I'm going to continue to fill. We have to remember to wipe the rings down. I'm just using a damp paper towel. Jump them up. And I'll band these so they are hand tightened. Alright, so we're going to get these in the hot water canner. I always have a rack. You should always have a rack in the bottom of your canner. Because if the jars touch the bottom of the canner, it could pop your glass. So I'm going to get the rest of these guys in. Alright, so these are ready to come out of the canner. They have boiled in the bath for 60 minutes. They look pretty yummy. So I'm going to continue to take them out. Hope you guys enjoy this recipe and hope you guys get your can on. See you next time.